257 crore rupees in cash. Yes, you heard that right. 257 crore and counting. This is a crackdown on Uttar Pradesh's perfume manufacturer Piyush Jain. It stunned the country. Apart from this 257 crore and counting, 250 kilograms of silver, 25 kilograms of gold, documents relating to 16 expensive properties have also been seized. This house of cash has triggered a massive political war in Uttar Pradesh and poll-bound Uttar Pradesh. The BJP insists that the arrested perfume baron manufactured the Samajwadi Party Itra, or Samajwadi Party perfume. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath today took a dig at Akhilesh Yadav, saying this is the reason why the Samajwadi Party opposed demonetization. The Samajwadi Party, on the other hand, says they are contesting this election not just against the BJP, but along with the BJP, the Income Tax Department, the CBI, the ED, and other agencies. Our Lucknow Bureau brings you a top story.
Bundles and bundles of cash. So much of cash that it's taking days for officials to count how much. This is perfume trader Piyush Jain's residence in Kanpur, where after a raid on December 24th, a whopping 257 crores of cash and counting was recovered. Note counting machines are being used to count all the cash that officials have recovered, and it's a mammoth task at hand to calculate exactly how much this UP businessman looted and scammed.
150 करोड़ के लगभग अनुमान है कि वो कैश होगा। अभी गिनती जारी है, लेकिन आपने सही कहा कि सीबीआईसी के हिस्ट्री में इतनी बड़ी कैश रिकवरी कभी नहीं हुई। इनकम टैक्स के केसेस में तो होती है। तो अब हम इस पे आगे जांच करेंगे और क्योंकि उन्होंने टैक्स पे कर दिया, इसका मतलब वो भी मान रहे हैं कि उन्होंने ये गलत काम किया।
It took massive steel containers to carry out some of the currency recovered from Piyush Jain's residence. And this is just the cash. Kilos of gold, silver, property documents have also been seized.
पीयूष जैन के घर में थे क्या? उनको टीम कहीं ले गई है?
जी हाँ, वो गए हैं करीब रात में 2:30 बजे करीब ले गई है टीम।
कहाँ ले गई जानकारी नहीं?
ये कुछ जानकारी नहीं है।
आप लोगों के मोबाइल वगैरह ले रखे थे, कब वापस करे, क्या पूछताछ आप लोगों से करी?
जी मोबाइल तो मेरा जब आए थे तभी ले लिया था और 11 बजे करीब मोबाइल मेरा मिला।
कुछ पूछताछ भी करी आपसे?
जी नहीं, हमसे कुछ पूछताछ नहीं।
Piyush Jain now languishes in police custody. His properties in Kannauj and Mumbai have also been sealed off. Raids underway to ascertain what wealth stash he has in his other properties. In the run-up to the UP elections, this massive raid has led to a political showdown as the BJP alleged an SP link.
कि बुआ और बबुआ नोटबंदी का विरोध क्यों करते थे? ये नोटबंदी का विरोध क्यों करते थे? क्योंकि प्रदेश को लूट करके इन लोगों ने अपने घरों की दीवारों में नोट को कैद करके रखे हुए थे।
Just a few weeks ago, Akhilesh had launched a perfume, Samajwadi Sugandh, which according to the BJP was manufactured by scam king Piyush Jain. These images of bundles of cash at the Kanpur businessman's house has led to questions this election season on whether political patronage helped Piyush Jain amass this kind of unbelievable wealth over years. Bureau Report, India Today.
You look at these pictures, the figures are actually mind-numbing. 257 crore in cash and still counting more, 25 kilograms in gold, so you have 1 kg gold biscuits and 250 kilograms in silver. Searches are still on. What's happening right now? We are told drill machines were brought in to drill holes into the ceiling, walls and floor of Kanpur's Kuber, as he's being called now, Piyush Jain's ancestral home and the home that he lived in. There are raids that are going on at other places. The question that is being asked, especially by the opposition, are these raids politically motivated? Time to put the Samajwadi Party on the back foot and give an advantage to the BJP in the state. Joining me on the show, Shehzad Poonawala, representing the Bharatiya Janata Party. Ashutosh Verma represents the Samajwadi Party. We also have India Today's National Affairs Editor Rahul Srivastav tracking these developments very closely, joining us on India Today. Ashutosh Verma, Is Piyush Jain Samajwadi Party's money bags? Is there merit in the BJP saying Jain made the Samajwadi Itra, the Samajwadi Party perfume, and was stocking your party's funds, sir?
So I think again Bharatiya Janata Party is running a fake industries information across the people of country. From your repeated channel, I just want to make it very clear. Samajwadi Party's MLC name is Pushparaj Jain, the Pammi Jain. He is also owner of Pragati Aroma Oil Distributor Private Limited, who made Samajwadi Itra. This is a totally different person. And the raid has been done on the Piyush Jain, who is basically runs a company with the name of Trimurti Fragrance Private Limited, who is also the manufacturer of Shikhar Pan Masala. Now, don't confuse this. The only common thing in between this, they are Jain.
We have our reporters on ground, and we will continue to report
they are not linked
all
with
facts.
Samajwadi Party.
Fair enough, you're saying there is no link to Samajwadi Party. Shehzad Poonawala, Samajwadi Party is also saying that these raids are politically motivated and that Jain is not associated with the Samajwadi Party, but Akhilesh Yadav says he's actually close to some BJP leaders.
Gaurav ji, first of all, thank you for having me on your esteemed show. And let me ask you, how can both things be said in the same breath? Either it is politically motivated and therefore by implication, the person has to be connected to a rival party, only then it can be politically motivated and vindictive, or else you have to agree and acknowledge. And I hope you begin, or Mr. Ashutosh Verma begins, by saying that this is the most nishpaksh sarkar that allows the raids to happen even on somebody who is allegedly a BJP supporter. So both can't go hand in hand. First of all, let me tell you कि भ्रष्टाचार का इत्र केवल समाजवादी पार्टी का मित्र. एंड व्हाई एम आई सेइंग दिस? ये संयोग है कि दोनों का नाम जैन है? नहीं. ये संयोग है दोनों का व्यापार इत्र का है? ये संयोग है दोनों एक ही मोहल्ले में रहते हैं? मैं इससे बड़ा संयोग आपको बताता हूं. संयोग ये है कि अखिलेश यादव ने 2016 में, अखिलेश यादव, द फ्रेंड फिलोसोफर एंड गाइड ऑफ ब्लैक मनी, सेड दैट ब्लैक मनी इज नॉट बैड, इट इज वेरी गुड, इट सेव्स आवर इकोनॉमी ड्यूरिंग रिसेशन. वन डिस्ट्रिक्ट वन प्रोडक्ट इज द स्कीम ऑफ मिस्टर योगी आदित्यनाथ, बट वन डिस्ट्रिक्ट वन स्कैम वाज द स्कीम of Samajwadi Party. You remember the days, Gaurav? Laptop Vitran scam, Jal Nigam Bharti scam, Ghotala in Gomti River front, Ghotala now even in the CAG report which has come out of the Noida authority. चलिए बाकी सब छोड़ दीजिए. You don't have trust on वैज्ञानिक of this country. You don't have trust on Supreme Court. The CAG has come out and said 58,000 crore rupees was looted by Bua and Babua, जो है भ्रष्टाचार के रोगी. These are the people who have looted Uttar Pradesh for decades on end, and today one more scam has come out, the tax story scam.
And I want to quickly bring in Rahul Srivastav into this conversation. Rahul Srivastav, not just the opposition, Rahul, but also political analysts. They're talking about the timing of the raid. Rahul, time to suck funds out of perhaps a campaign that could have been made available to a political party just before elections. And if I may, Rahul, demonetization ahead of 2017 elections and raids ahead of 2022 elections, merit in a parallel between the two, goal being same, opposition should not have funds.
Gaurav, not just the examples you're citing. Yes, 2016 note ban did impact the political fortunes of parties, primarily because of the drying up of the funds. If you recall, when the Ashok Gehlot government was in trouble last year, then there were raids in Jaipur. During the Tamil Nadu elections, relatives of Mr. Stalin, the principal opponent of the AIDMK and the BJP combined, raided. At a time when the Congress was struggling to get its men into Rajya Sabha in Gujarat, and there were some MLAs who were camping for safety's sake in Eagleton Resort in Bangalore. At that time, Mr. D.K. Shivkumar, the principal troubleshooter of the Congress, raided. So these raids do have a timing, and these raids definitely, I know that over the last 35 years, people like me and you have seen, have a purpose. Now, Gaurav, remember, a lot of slush money comes out during this period. Pre-election time, when campaign is rolling, helicopters have to be paid for, campaign managers have to be given money, vehicles, petrol, diesel, all that needs money. And what politicians show to the election commission in expenses is a piffling amount compared to the real one which is spent.
Yes.
Now, being in power helps. So much so that at a time when opponents can be taking their money out to spend is the time to strike. Now, all these examples very clearly show that IT raids do two things, Gaurav. One, it does confiscate. If you recall, Gaurav, that in 1996, when Sukhram, the telecom minister, was raided, 2.56 and 1.4 crores was recovered from his two houses, which were raided. And that was seen as the largest ever raid in the history of the country, a recovery in one time. Now you've got a much bigger one. And definitely what such raids do, Gaurav, is that they actually seize the money flow as far as the opponents are concerned. And they also do one thing, that those who might be ready to fund in near future also withdraw from the funding race. And that can actually hurt political opponents terribly. And I'm yet to see a single BJP person being raided by IT or GST authorities and others.
We will get
in the last
Shehzad
few years
Poonawala to
since the
respond
BJP
to
has
that.
been in power.
We will, and
So
I see
then
this
why only
broad
BJP?
smile on Ashutosh Verma's face. And, but Ashutosh Verma, if this is money that could have been advantage Samajwadi, as is being said, I mean, sir, please feel free to tell us facts otherwise. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath says this also explains why Bua and Babua, Sapa and Baspa, Samajwadi Party and Bahujan Samaj Party were opposed to demonetization. Is this how your party's funds were stored? In walls, as Shehzad Poonawala says, in tehkhanas and in false ceilings?
So, Gaurav, I just want to comment on your report, which you have seen in the initiation of this episode, that Vivek Johri, the chairman of CBCI, has accepted that this is the first time such amount of money has been recovered by CBIC. IT has already recovered different types of. So this is a CBIC, which is a Central Board of Indirect Tax and Custom raid. It is not an IT raid, number one.
No, that's a fact. It's a GST intelligence input based action.
Yeah, let me complete. Then he also said that since he has accepted all the fraud in the GST and also accepted that all the money belonged to him only, means Piyush Jain. Number two. Number three, 4 cities, Mumbai, Gujarat, Kanpur, and I think Kannauj. 4 cities are simultaneously being raided. So this is a CBIC raid, and the raid which has been done by in the associates of Samajwadi Party was done by Income Tax Department, IT raid. Now, the coming thing is again, this is the fake industry of Bharatiya Janata Party. If you recall of 2016, they have made a false allegations that out of 86 SDM, the 53 belongs to Yadav. Now, after 5 years of completion of government, will you give the proof? That was a fake at that time. Similarly, they are making a false narrative among the voters of the Uttar Pradesh so that they may prove it that Samajwadi Party is corrupt. Basically, it is a failure of system. After the note bandi, after demonetization, how did such amounts of huge money
That's a very pertinent point that you raised. Shehzad Poonawala, BJP may claim Jain was close to the Samajwadi Party, but Akhilesh Yadav made it very clear that if Piyush Jain's call data records are made public, numbers of prominent BJP leaders will emerge. BJP insists that Jain was actually close to the BJP.
Again, Gaurav, let me reiterate the first point I made. If indeed that is the case, but Ashutosh ji on show after show that he's appeared on me fails to provide even one documentary evidence, so if he has the proof, he should move the courts and get action done. I'm asking you that then this should be the biggest testament of how independent our agencies work, that if the person is close whether to X or Y, there is a raid, and that also actually demolishes Rahul ji's argument that there was no raid on somebody who's close to BJP. Now, it is not my party's fault that my leaders don't indulge in the kind of corruption that we see that exists in Samajwadi Party. Now, I can't force the agencies to go and raid somebody who's not corrupt.
No, but where is the evidence linking Piyush Jain to the Samajwadi Party as leader after leader say, sir?
Who is the friend, philosopher, guide of black money as per the statement I've shown you on record made by Akhilesh Yadav? It is Mr. Akhilesh Yadav who's defended black money and its utility in reviving the economy. So clearly there's a culture of corruption or culture of black money in the Samajwadi Party. Now secondly, there are links that are emerging within various people are speaking about the links between Mr. Jain, who is also a perfume trader whose perfume was launched by Akhilesh Yadav. The question is being asked that if this is not your money, why are you saying that election time पर raid नहीं होनी चाहिए? Why were you the first ones to react when the authorities conducted a raid on 3 other people and so many disclosures were made? Why did you lie that only 18,000 was recovered when actually there was undisclosed income of 86 crores?
Yes, Ashutosh Verma, merit in the BJP saying दर्द केवल अखिलेश यादव को हो रहा है, दर्द सिर्फ समाजवादी पार्टी को हो रहा है जब रेड हो रही है.
ओके, सो अगेन भारतीय जनता पार्टी के प्रवक्ता और पार्टी स्पोक्स पर्सन कंफ्यूज कर रहे हैं. ये जो वर्ड बोला गया था कि जो बीजेपी की बात आईटी रेड आई है, सीबीआई, ये जब समाजवादी पार्टी के लोगों के ऊपर रेड आईटी रेड पड़ी थी, नॉट सीबीआईसी रेड, तब ये स्टेटमेंट था. तो कंफ्यूज कर रहे हैं. एंड आई से व्हाई दिस इज हैपनिंग, because in 2018 the CBI, the IT and ED has given a list to the Supreme Court, and CBI has said that we have 76 politicians on the radar. Among them 8 are from the Uttar Pradesh. IT said that we have about 22,000 on the list. ED says that we have 122 politicians in the list. Leaving all behind, the raid has been done by the OSD of Mani Akhilesh Yadav ji, one of the spokesperson of Samajwadi Party, and one of the leader of from the Agra, Manoj Yadav. Why so haste? What is the problem? And if you are saying that we are corrupt, then who is B.S. Yediyurappa? Who is Reddy Brothers, who is accused in 16,500 mining scam? Who is Hemant Biswa Sharma, water supply scam, जिसके नाम पे पूरा चुनाव लड़ा?
Rahul Srivastav, money stashed in walls, money buried underground, and we are looking at those images as they emerge. 25 kilograms of gold, 250 kilograms of silver. Whose poll prospects, Rahul, does this actually damage? And just when these raids happen, just before elections, does that suck out all that money that could have been made available for polling, whatever that political party may have been? Does this damage their prospects?
One, Gaurav, I think Mr. Piyush Jain does not know what hawala and all those other modern modes of sending your money out and saving stashed money is concerned. I think what the point definitely which I made earlier also is that it actually freezes the funds of political opponents. I think young Sharad missed the point I made about the timing and the omission. The timing element that it's happening before the elections when funds start flowing out of the woodwork and the walls and the pillows and the toilet cisterns. And I also mentioned that he also mentioned the fact about the Mulayam Singh Yadav disproportionate asset case. Now, it's very interesting that he actually brought that point because that case is actually a perfect example of misuse of agencies. CBI files a case against Akhilesh, his father, his wife, and there were mention of even of his children.
Yes.
Now, 5 times the CBI changed the affidavit just because it suited for the UPA to use the agencies to keep getting the support of Mr. Mulayam Singh Yadav. 2013, the case is closed. The courts are informed in 2019. He mentioned that. It's a classic case of misuse than, I think, disproportionate assets being found. The key factor here is, Gaurav, the omission of BJP leaders. No BJP leader raided. And if somebody was raided in the past, there are many turncoats who joined the BJP. I want to know where the cases are.
Samajwadi Party and others have leveled repeatedly that they're constantly combating the BJP and agencies like the CBI and ED and Income Tax Department. Now just add GST intelligence teams to that. Misuse of all these agencies just before elections, sir.
Okay, the question being raised by a very respected Rahul ji is about the timing of this. So now in this country, there are elections, fortunately or unfortunately, the way you look at it, every 2 months or 3 months. Do you suggest that we should give a free pass for Bhrashtachar to all these parties because every second month there's an election that is taking place? Like agencies will work as per their mandate, as per the information and the evidence that they gather. If we do it on day 1, देयर विल बी एलिगेशन दैट वेंडेटा करते हैं, देखिए एक दिन में इनको क्या मिल गया। जब एजेंसी ठीक से काम करे और कार्रवाई करे और सामने सबूत रखे, मतलब वी आर सीइंग द विजुअल्स ऑफ दिस। ये भी नहीं है कि समाजवादी के कमेंट से कि कुछ मिला नहीं, वरना वो भी बोल देते कि देखिए ये तो सबसे पवित्र इंसान है, इसके इत्र नहीं, ये तो उसको बदबूदार आप कर रहे हैं, ये तो निकल रहा है हर कोने में जहां हाथ डालो वहां निकल रहा है। फिर भी ये कहते हैं, अब टाइमिंग पर सवाल खड़े करते हैं। When Samajwadi Party lumps all agencies with us and calls them BJP's agencies, this is the same Samajwadi Party that even said the scientists who developed a vaccine are BJP वाली वैक्सीन। सो उनसे तो इस बात की उम्मीद करना कि किसी भी एजेंसी या व्यक्ति को निष्पक्ष रूप में देखे, ये पॉसिबल ही नहीं है। दूसरी बात, इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड्स इज अ मैकेनिज्म ऑफ हाउ व्हाइट मनी ट्रांसपेरेंटली कम्स इनटू पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज। टू कंपेयर दैट with what the Jain brothers are giving the Samajwadi Party or the Jain Bandhus are giving the Samajwadi Party is completely unfair. And if Mr. Ashutosh has a shred of evidence against any names he has taken, I challenge him to go to court tomorrow morning, leave this show, don't waste your time here, go to court, prove it in a court of law in a criminal complaint that any of our ex-CMs or current CMs are corrupt. I challenge that to you. You can't even go and file a manhani ka dawa against the allegations we are making because you know कि बदबू जहां से आती है, भ्रष्टाचार का स्रोत वही है, स्कैम वाली पार्टी समाजवादी पार्टी।
I've run out of time on this part of the show. We'll be tracking the story very closely, especially at a time when money continues to be recovered, gold, silver, property papers, all of that. But will these raids be taken to their logical conclusion, or will it just remain an initiative before the elections to starve opposition parties of funds before polling? That remains to be seen. Well, that is all we have time for on India First this evening. Many thanks for watching. A quick break coming up next. Business Today with Udyan Mukherjee.